Yeah, thanks, Osama. And let me start with congratulating you and the Digital Empowerment Foundation for this fantastic event, which is now 5 years old. And I think once you, as an event, reach 5 years, that probably means you're going to be there for a long time. So congratulations. Can we give him a big hand with this event? Yeah, I think these events, but also what Osama does and what we do as Vodafone in partnership with the DEF is actually based on two thoughts, and it's very simple, but I think it's maybe good to go back to those basic thoughts, which is technology drives development. And it sounds very simple, but it is really important to kind of chew on it and think, what can technology do then more? And that's, I think, what this discussion this morning is all about. And then the second thing is that actually technology is driven by innovation. Actually by innovation and research. And typically research is in the hands of big organizations. Research these days is massively expensive. Basic research is very difficult, it takes a long time. If you have, in our sector, for example, if I take a Chinese company as an example, Huawei, which wasn't there 20 years ago, it's a relatively young company, has more than 100,000 people in research. That's a massive investment, isn't it? That is something that can only be done by the giants in the world, and the same is true for other technology companies. Probably Qualcomm is all about research. You will probably say a few more words about that. But then innovation is typically the other way around. We all know that big companies are typically not very good in real innovation. Real innovation needs creativity, needs thinking out of the box, needs this hunger, of young entrepreneurs. And it is sad to say, but the reality is that big companies typically are not very good at that. They become bureaucratic, thinking out of the box is not always appreciated, you follow the rules, this is how we do it here. So it is important to get these two things talk to each other, and I think that is what happens in these fora here. And thanks again, Osama, for bringing us together, because this Ambillions Award is all about that category of hungry young entrepreneurs and innovators who are able to do stuff that actually is very, very interesting, but then in the reality very often has to land back in a bigger organization to scale it up and to get distribution and to have an impact on Earth. So I think these are incredibly important meetings. What I will do is I will just give a few inputs for the panel discussion. I'm not going to kind of hold a long speech. I'm just going to give you some inputs which hopefully then are helping the discussion of the panel after that. So the growth of mobile telephony has positively impacted and transformed the lives of the vast majority of, I think, the populations in Asia. You can actually say in everywhere in the world, but since we are talking here about Southeast Asia, let's focus on that part. So that has happened mainly over the last decade, and it has really changed the world, the way people work, play, communicate, socialize, and do their business. And mobile data communications has facilitated mobile access to the internet, empowering the people to access social media, mobile commerce and location services, broadband, always present, always on connectivity, cloud computing, social networking, and the Internet of Things. They're all coming together now and transform lives. The wide adoption of broadband internet across countries can unleash a connected transformation in society. It can drive economic growth, and it allows, for example, India to harness the demographic dividend. It has the potential to drive paradigm changes in business and delivery models for a multitude of core socio-economic areas, including education, health, governance, and financial inclusion, and of course particularly and more important for the rural areas. Equal access to information and services will have the greatest impact on underserved sections of the society, providing them with enhanced opportunities and supporting more equitable growth. An aggressive and determined approach by the industry, the telecoms industry, has led to the introduction of next generation technologies of mobile broadband services, with 3G services already in place in India and 4G services now starting to be launched in select cities. In India also mobile data is growing aggressively, exceeding the world average of mobile broadband data growth, which is already doubling every year. Several reports compiled by credible analysts and industry sources indicate an aggressive growth pattern for mobile broadband in the country for the coming years. According to Cisco, global IP traffic will in India grow 6 times in the next years, with a 44% growth rate in the next 5 years. This is further substantiated by the latest annual research report on mobile broadband performance in India by Nokia Solutions and Networks, which reports that 3G in India grew by 146% in the last year. So the next era is envisioned as one of inclusive growth in all allied verticals of the industry, and the telecom service providers would provide the backbone for this development and be pivotal to the converged work structure and the industry environment. Several new mobile application verticals have surfaced for governance, banking, education, health, women and children welfare, agriculture, etc. All these verticals will drive change in societies. There is an opportunity for M-governance and social inclusion. Governance is slated for a metamorphosis to M-governance, which will be more inclusive and with a definitive extensive outreach to individuals. This is to put into effect the mission statement also of what in India is called the New Telecom Policy 2012, to reposition the mobile device as an instrument of socio-economic empowerment of citizens. E and M governments have emerged as tools for improving the quality of government services and offering greater transparency. In banking, the same thing. Mobile banking has already started penetrating the market and will present a huge growth potential. India has a large unbanked population because of limited access to formal financial institutions. The number of bank accounts per 100 adults in India is 38, significantly lower than in other countries. The challenges constraining greater financial inclusion in rural areas have been the lack of access to bank facilities and also high operational costs. Mobile phones have the potential to deliver financial services to this unbanked population. Because of the high rates of mobile phone ownership, one of the benefits of mobile-led branchless banking is the speed at which it can be adopted. And then education. 85% of India's schools are in rural areas and they lack adequate facilities and infrastructure. M-education initiatives can avoid infrastructure obstructions and open avenues for greater awareness and dissemination of education in remote areas specifically. Solutions can significantly improve affordability of education by up to, according to report, 65%, which can help millions of households in countries like India, where cost of school education can be as high as 1/3 of the household income. Also, when it comes to the quality of education available, a lack of qualified teachers is a challenge, particularly in secondary and higher education levels in the country. This leaves a clear opportunity for M-education to address the gap. Coming to healthcare, India has one doctor per 2,000 patients, which is much lower than the global average of about 4. Posing a major challenge in healthcare delivery, especially in the rural areas again. mHealth can provide information and awareness, remote data collection, monitoring, disease and epidemic tracking, and diagnostic and treatment support. For example, communicable diseases in the country place a heavy heavy burden on healthcare services, particularly tuberculosis, with an estimated 40% of citizens suffering from it. Operation ASHA, a program run by a non-governmental organization, facilitates fingerprint scanning during administration of patients' medicine at mini TB centers, meaning their drug adherence can be tracked with additional adherence prompted through SMS reminders. Just an example of how that can work. And then coming to another important and I would say a much debated subject, women empowerment. Mobile phone ownership provides distinct benefits to women, including improved access to educational, health, business and employment opportunities. Women surveyed across low and middle income countries on 3 continents believe that a mobile phone helps them lead a more secure, connected and productive life. 85% of women feeling more independent because of their mobile phone, which is sourced from Women and Mobile, a global opportunity report made by the Thierry Blair Foundation and the GSMA. Empowering more women with mobile phones can accelerate social and economic development. The information, communication and services provided by a mobile phone are helping women to save time and money, improve productivity, increase returns on investment and maximize household resources. 4 in 10 women surveyed across low and middle income countries enjoy increased economic or professional opportunities due to owning a mobile phone. And the apps developed to provide location-based safety and alarm services have also gained popularity with women. The maternal health and child mortality rates are critical issues in developing countries, and the governments continue to struggle to contain the spread of life-threatening communicable diseases. One of the main reasons for maternal and infant death is lack of information and access to maternal health care. Disseminating information to mothers and healthcare workers is an important part of reducing maternal mortality and infant death. This means educating and informing the community workers who attend birth and advise pregnant mothers, something to which mHealth is particularly well suited. Another area to mention, employability. Mobile solutions can have an impact on employability. In India, nearly 64 to 80% of graduates have been found to be unemployable in various fields. So they have a diploma, but they cannot be employed. They need additional training. A conservative 20% point improvement in employability, indicated by successful e-learning programs in India, could help, for example, 300,000 engineering graduates become suitable for employment. And then another very, very important area, which is agriculture. Agriculture faces some key challenges ranging from inefficiencies in supply chain to weak market mechanisms and lack of access to relevant financial services. Farmers frequently suffer from poor access to pricing updates as well as weather forecast and crop-specific agricultural information. This affects their productivity and their ability to generate a consistent income. Agricultural solutions can play a significant role in addressing these challenges. Technical guidance on farming methods and weather warnings can help farmers maximize yields and increase production. Mobile devices can also be used to improve logistics by matching supply with demand, provide access to market prices, and to deliver financial services. Agriculture solutions that help reduce supply chain losses are extremely important for India, where losses constitute up to 80% of the total supply. Wastage in the fruit and vegetable industry, for example. And access to mobile-based real-time price information has helped to make a substantial difference to the efficiency of beach auctions along Kerala's coast, as a larger proportion of fishermen now possess mobile phones. By using their mobiles to gain real-time information on prices in a wider range of markets, fishermen can make better decisions on where to sell their catch. Just another example. Let me finish off. This was a long list of verticals and applications and opportunities to drive this development. One thing specifically also for India is vernacular content. Operators have been working with partners to develop new value-added services applications that deliver the right content at the right time and with the right medium, which can be audio, video or text. Vernacular content is especially relevant for a country like India, which has 22 official languages. Moreover, the rural population is non-English speaking, and to increase the usage of apps and services for these people, it is essential to have vernacular language options. Customized services for catering to the requirements of consumers in particular regions would also be the key to enhance the penetration in these pockets. So these were some thoughts as inputs for the panel discussion. Thank you.